So what I'm going to do is I have some messages that are coming through while I was shuffling the cards and preparing this reading for you. So I'm just going to go into those messages first, and then we're going to go into this reading, okay? Because it's going to allow me to basically sum up, the previous few months, the energies coming through from the previous few months, so that we can get more clarity when we go into this reading. The first message that that I heard very strongly for you guys is you can't have it all. So I feel like for some of you, this might be in the traveling front, and then for others is in your relationship. But let me just talk about this first. I feel a lot of you are shuffling around, like traveling a lot. Some of you might be in relationships that are a little bit rocky. You're spending time with your girlfriends or your boyfriends, and you're having a lot of girls' night out or boys' night out, trying to forget like disappointments in relationships, trying to drown out the fighting when it comes to a very tenuous relationship. And I feel like you're doing a lot of traveling to forget. Okay, so yes, you might have the intentions to travel, to catch up with people, to see old friends, but I feel like a lot of it is trying to forget something, trying to just blow off some steam, or trying to, let a situation die down before you go back and address it. So I feel like a lot of travel, a lot of movement happening for you in the past. Take better care of your health, okay? Especially, I do see an energy of heavy drinking. So I don't know if you're drowning out your sorrows, or if you're getting together with the same group of friends and they might, drink a lot. But you want to give your liver a rest, give your body a rest. Okay, so do things that err a little bit more on the physical activity side, rather than just going to drink and going to dinner. So I feel like a lot of calories being put in. And I feel like substances as well, such as drinking, alcohol. And so take better care of your health, okay? So they're saying you can't have it all. Your body is feeling the physical impact of that, okay? And then on the other front, what I'm sensing happening is, like I mentioned in the past, that I feel like a lot of the times you get upset, you blow over, and you get over it. But I feel like there has been some lingering issues coming through, and it keeps coming back. It's like coming back over and over and over again. And you don't know how to deal with it. You're very, very frustrated. You're holding your ground. You're holding very, very stubbornly to your argument. The other person, likewise, is holding very, very stubbornly to their argument. So I feel like you're at an impasse with another person, and you're getting very frustrated. And I feel like you're tired of having to work things out. You're tired of dealing with the same things over and over again, fighting about the same thing, arguing with the same person. And so you're tired of it. And what I'm feeling coming through for this month is that a lot of relationships, friendships, relationships, romantic relationships as well, are going to be tested. And you're going to identify, what's worth keeping, okay? And I feel like a lot of major realization coming through for you. So that's the first message I have for you guys. The second message deals more with it deals with more travel. And I feel like a lot of you are doing something behind the scenes so that you can make like a major move in your life. So I feel major relocation, major work changes. I'm sensing like you're not telling other people about it. It might be for strategic reason, and I feel like it might be, like if you're looking for a job, for example, and you're trying to find work in the same industry, you're not going to, let your employers know that you're looking, right? Like you're not happy and that you're planning to get out as soon as a new job comes in. I feel like that's what's happening. And I feel like they're saying there's going to be a seamless transition between jobs. So I feel a lot of you are doing the job hunt, and you're being very slick about it, like you're not telling other people about it, okay? Which is good, and I feel like a new job is going to be made available for you in that front. And the last message that I'm getting here is I feel like you just want to break out of your skin and live another life. That's what it feels like to me. It's like you're feeling a little bit vitalized, renewed, You want to feel, passionate and enthusiastic again. And you're honestly as well tired of, they're saying like holding down fort while other people are out living their lives. That's what it seems like to me. So it's like you're comparing your responsibilities and another person that you share responsibilities with. And you're just like, I can't do it on my own anymore. You need to step up. You need to help. And I feel that you're tired of that too. So this is going to bring us into the this reading here, because what you're bringing to the table kind of like backed up that we need to sort through, that we need to figure out. You're not innately an emotional sign, but you are very, very passionate. You do feel things on a very gut instinctive level. And this is a card about releasing old demons so that we can get, restful sleep. This is a card about not ruminating so much over the past, not worrying so much like, is it or is it not going to happen about the future? This is a card about telling you, let the worries go so that you can get adequate sleep. Take better care of your body. Don't feed into the drama. Don't feed into the gossip. And, do things in a very low-key manner so that you're not inundating yourself with a lot of worries and anxieties in your sleep state, okay? A lot of the times I think about this as, getting like possible, medical procedures or even like surgical procedures, and you're not in a state of mind, like, or even like physically or mentally to get restful sleep. So I feel like some of you might be recovering from an illness, a surgery, and or you might be recovering from some type of a very tenuous situation where you felt like a little bit defeated and you felt like I could not win in that situation. So this is something that you might have been dealing with, okay? So you're coming into this month with this energy. And my advice here is honestly try to relax and try to take better care of your body, okay? Nutrition, and proper nutrition especially, okay? Reward your body with good food, and that's how we can, get ourselves a little bit more grounded, a little bit more centered. Just feed your body the nutrients that it needs. Slow down a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of you overextending yourself last month, and I also feel like it might have wreaked havoc on your pocketbook as well, on your, money as well. So the main theme for this month here, as it relates to your financial situation, is you're starting to get a handle on things, okay? So all the expenditures, all the trips, all the outings, I feel like they're taking a toll on your pocketbook. And so there's going to be a little bit of a slowdown, and rightfully so. It is your birthday time, so I'm hoping that, friends will start coming in, chipping in on the responsibilities, taking you out, taking care of you, showing you a good time, and you don't need to lift a finger. So I feel like you've got some really strong emotional positive support coming through on the friendship sector, okay? And as a result of that, I feel like they're going to make you feel very special, and you're going to then, be able to not have to exert so much money and so much energy planning things, organizing things with a bunch of other people. I feel like most of the groundwork is going to be laid out for you, which is a really good, I guess like a really good brick that you desperately need, okay? So in terms of the relationship sector, what I'm sensing is, let me talk about business first because that's coming through. I feel like a business proposal coming through from friends. This is going to require that you leave your current job in order for you to take up on, the role of the partnership, the financier or the investor in a major business idea that is coming through from your friendship circle. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you have been or are going to be dealing with some type of proposal where somebody is wanting you to chip in, partner up with them in order to get a project going. And they understand there's a lot of risk involved, as with every new startup, as with every new entrepreneurial venture. There will be a lot of risk, and I feel like, you trust your friends, you trust the people that are coming through with this proposal. And you're trying to think whether or not the risks are worth it. And you're also trying to think like, whether or not geographically you're going to be in the same location long enough for them to count on you. So it's almost like it's a great thing, and it's going to pan out really well because you trust I guess the expertise of the other person, but you're trying to see as well, this is going to be a major, I guess like reassessment of my career track, where I'm at right now. And I don't know if I'm going to be here geographically for the next 5 years. So I don't know if this is something I am supposed to get involved in right now. So I feel this very trepidatious energy about you guys. A lot of the times when I do readings for Aries people, the energy is very strong. It's very like one way, like one direction. It's very straightforward. But this is the month I feel like you're doing a lot of reassessment. And honestly, I feel like physically, if you're not in your best state, where you're medicated or you're not feeling good, like physically, it's not a good time for you to make major decisions, because I feel like you might be dealing with some frustration. You might be dealing with some other things that's hindering your ability to look at this situation objectively. So I do feel some of you, financial opportunities coming through from friends, either a new job altogether or partnering up with another person in order to start something. And I feel like it's a very small group, possibly with 3 people, or possibly just a partnership, okay? Like between you and another person. They're saying it's it's going to be very lucrative, and I feel as well it's going to pan out well. In terms of your relationship, like romantic relationship sector, we have here the 3 of Cups, which traditionally denotes somebody who is socially dating. This is a card about, lighthearted energies, merriment, having a good time, going out socially drinking. Or even if you are in his or her career, or in his and her professional life, okay? You likewise could have reached a major milestone in your own and another person. This greatly indicates to me engagement, also like marriage proposals happening. So I feel like it is a really, a very, very good month for many of you for, I do see a lot of proposals. I do see a lot of like engagements happening for you guys. So very good energy. Likewise, for some of you, I feel like majority of you might be in a relationship, and I feel like some of you might be single, out dating, socially dating. You haven't really, I guess, like, honed down on one person that you're seeing specifically, but you're enjoying yourself and you're enjoying your time meeting, mingling, and, exchanging energies with another person. So that can be, sexually, or that can just be like through conversation. But I do see a lot of just intimate energy between you and another person, even if you're socially dating. And I feel like that's really going to help you feel good, and it's going to provide release. And I feel like you're just going to feel really good this month. Just take care of your health, okay? So taking care of our health, means everything. So that means when the partnership house is highly impacted, it basically means being a little bit more aware of our fertility as well, unwanted pregnancies and things like that. And I feel like either way, there's going to be a joyous occasion linked up with your partnership sector. So there's going to be good news, engagement, as well as proposals, taking the relationships to the next level, or even attending a lot of weddings, social functions with a significant other, where you're going to be seen as the power couple, okay? The other message here pertains to your 12th house. So let me talk about this, because it's greatly tied in together. So this deals with your career. And I feel like this. Some of you are at a career track or in a work situation where things have been a little bit chaotic, okay? You are dealing with people who might have dealt with their own wounds, who might have had like, they're saying like people who don't make the best decisions given their circumstances, okay? And I feel like it's really hard for you to communicate with these people because energetically they're of a lower vibration. So you can't really get your point across. You can only help them with whatever problems they're dealing with right now. So it seems to me like it's a revolving door, like a new person comes in with the same issue that you just solved like 2 weeks ago with another client. And it's a revolving door process, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just a cog in the machine. I'm not really making lasting change. And because of that, as well, I feel like you're no longer inspired by the work that you're doing. You do it possibly because it's stable, it pays the bill, and there is value in dealing with people who might be marginalized or underprivileged, in some way. But when you have to keep doing these things and you don't see any tangible results in the work that you're dedicating your life to doing, I feel like you're getting frustrated. Others of you, you might be frustrated with authority figures, supervisors, bosses in your work environment. And there might have been like a situation, like a confrontation in the past, possibly around, 3 months ago. And you're just trying to avoid them. They're trying to avoid you. And so you have like a very strong, I guess, persona in the workplace where you don't compromise, you don't back down from conflict. And it seems as if this is a situation that's going to come up again to revisit for you for this month. And if you're in a situation like that, I feel like you're in a work environment that pays quite well. Okay, I do see that. I feel like your financial sector is very, very stable, which means you're paid quite well. And even some of you where you feel like you're not paid well, there's like a consistent salary. It's very consistent on on a month-to-month basis. So I don't feel like it fluctuates very much. But in terms of your career, you might be at a point where you can't get any further promotions. So you might feel like, this work environment, it pays the bills, but I'm no longer feeling inspired. And I'm staying because of the financial security, but I'm not feeling as if I can continue to climb that corporate ladder or even break that glass ceiling. So you've been reassessing whether or not you can transfer to a different company, to a different branch, to a different department. So I feel like you've been contemplating this for quite some time. And then for others, health issues affecting your ability to work or find that work environment that's suitable for you. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of health things coming through in this spread. The sword energies, especially, the Nine of Swords, this is emotional. This is more like physical recuperation from surgeries or even like medical procedures that really saps your health, saps your vitality. And because of it, it's also affecting you in terms of, your ability to rise above, your ability to really shine in a professional environment. So this is your public image card, and I feel like you're not given the opportunity to do that, okay? So whatever way you're working, some of you might be out of work right now for health reasons, or you might need to take some days off this month too. So just be careful, take care of yourself, okay? If you are also doing any type of surgery, please reschedule. It's Mercury in retrograde. It's Mercury in retrograde. If you can, if it's elective procedures and you have a little bit more flexibility in when it should get performed, please be careful about elective procedures, okay? Like more like higher probabilities for mishaps and missed appointments, having a longer wait time. So just people are not operating at their best either. So even though you might be prepared from your end, the other person might not. So just, try to avoid medical procedures, especially if they're like elective, they're not life-threatening. Just try to push it, like delay it for another month, okay? So, and which takes me to the next part. So I feel like there is some uncertainty when it comes to the work that you're doing, no longer feeling inspired, feeling like you're a little bit of a cog in a machine. And I feel like, you are the first sign of the zodiac. Your motto is you want to be the trailblazer. You want your results to speak for your work ethics. You want your results to propel you to the next phase in your professional life. And if you're just like a bureaucrat at a desk, if you're just a cog in the machine and doing the same job over and over again, dealing with revolving door issues and, revolving clients and people coming back with the same problems, you feel very uninspired. And I feel like that's what's happening in your work environment. Yes, it pays the bills. It is stable. But you're thinking long term, where do I go from here? Am I happy doing this for the next, 30, 40 years? And so major reassessments are coming through. And I feel as well, it is also affecting your relationship. So first of all, we have here the lovers. And this is, the ideal relationship that I feel you guys want. And the lovers is a situation where we are very, very physically, emotionally, and just in every way attracted to another person. And we want somebody who might have the same work ethics as us. We want somebody who is like professionally on par with us. So I feel some of you are in a relationship where you really love another person, but professionally, they might not be where you need them to be to have a relationship with you, to get married to you, to have children with you. So I feel like they might be lagging behind on their ability to provide. They might not be on par with you when it comes to their income generating potential. They might not be on par with you when it comes to, having an established career where they can commit to a long-term relationship and have children. So we're at that crossroads with another person I see coming through for this month. And then for others of you, the energy can flow both ways, where your partner wants more, but they feel like you might not be financially on par with them. So I feel like there is something here about public image affecting the relationship. I'm also sensing as well, some of you are dating somebody who's not available. So you're dating somebody in a very clandestine, on the down low type of way, and the other person's in another relationship. Okay, so you might be seeing somebody, like you might be knowingly seeing somebody who is in another relationship. And I feel like your friends are telling you, don't do that, don't do that. And I feel almost as if, the pull is so strong. The secrecy surrounding it is so exciting. So we have some major reassessing that needs to happen for this month, okay? So that's what I feel is happening here. You might be the willing, Mr. or the Mrs. in another relationship. So please be careful about that, all right? So if that's something you're dealing with, just be very careful. And I feel honestly that some of you are not, like within the past few months, you might not have gotten that commitment from that person. And I feel that might be why you were traveling so much, to try to forget, to try to move on as well. And it's reeling you back in. So I do see this combination. I do see some shame, some guilt associated with it, okay? Like getting involved with somebody that we know our friends don't approve of. We know that they're not like relationship partner. We know there's something immoral about, this entanglement, but we can't help ourselves. So if it's done, it's done. Leave it behind, okay? There's no use in, I guess, like bringing along the guilt if you're not going to do something differently. A lot of the times, a guilty conscience is just our conscience telling us there's something wrong here and we shouldn't be doing it, right? So I just feel like, the situation is what it is. So just be very careful what you're getting yourself into, okay? So I rarely see that for you, Aries, but this is the month in which I feel like this needs to be addressed. So if it applies to you, your guilty conscience, I feel like it's hurting you. You're usually a very, very honest sign, and so I don't like seeing this energy. Just make sure you do the right thing, okay? When presented with temptation, everyone deals with them one point in or another in their lives, and we try to do the right thing. So I feel like that's what's happening here. But either way, moving on forward, I'm sensing, just this energy of you wanting to leave the past behind. And I feel like some of you who might be on the younger end, like 20s and your 30s, you might like somebody. I'm getting this. You might like somebody and you might have already, dated their friends. And so I feel like, past actions when it comes to who we date, who we slept with, who we became very intimate with very fast, all of these things are coming back to haunt us. And I'm feeling some of you are feeling a little bit like ashamed of your actions. Keep in mind, this is between consenting adults. Whatever you do is nobody else's business except you and the other person. if they talk, if they brag, if they do something to expose, something that's very intimate and private, you do not need to associate with them, okay? And the people that are just like a little bit more conscientious, and the people that are a little bit more thoughtful, they won't take these things to heart. And so don't worry about, past, what you did in the past. It's supposed to be between you and another person. And if whatever situation came to light, it exposes the person for who they are. So I feel like that's what's happening here. Don't beat yourself up over it, okay? It's between consenting adults, so don't beat yourself up over it. I'm also sensing here, we have like a lot of major arcana cards here, and it is rightfully your birthday time. So I feel like that's why all the major arcana cards are coming through. But in terms of communication, we have here the moon card, which basically indicates a situation where you feel like something was off and something is wrong. Your intuition was screaming out, telling you to dig a little bit deeper. And I feel some of you are doing just that, digging into a situation, trying to find out. They're saying like try to review text messages, trying to review emails to figure out a time frame. So you might have broken up with somebody, and then you're trying to, and they might be seeing somebody new, and you're trying to find out, when did this happen? When did we break up? So I'm seeing a lot of you reviewing old photos, reviewing text messages to see how the timeline matches up. You might even have a confession from a person that, I stepped out of the relationship, and you're trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together so that you can figure things out. So this is a very heavy energy for, relationship focused for this month for you guys the energy is coming up so that you can deal with them and so that you can get some clarity, okay? So I'm very sorry to relay that information for you guys, Aries, who are dealing with this, but it came out so strongly, and it's coming out here across 6 cards, okay? So I have to relay the information, so I apologize. So we have both of these cards. You doing a little bit of snooping, investigating, looking at other people's pictures and timeline, try to match up the timeline and see how they have panned out. And then, once again, I'm sensing as if this deals with like an ex-partner, no longer in the picture, but you still care about them. And it seems like you might have devoted a lot of your time in this relationship. You might have shared assets together. And so this is something that you can't let go, because, once you want to know something, you push and push and push until you get the exact answer. And I feel like that's what's happening here. You're getting some clarity so you can move on, okay? Keep in mind, this is closure so that you can move on. And I feel like this is possibly with a past relationship that you never had closure about. And so you're getting some closure now. Think of it as a birthday wish, getting the closure you need so you can move on with your life, date new people, have an amazing time, getting out there and not doubting your power of attraction, okay? Somebody really hurt your self-esteem in the past, Aries. I feel like there was a person you were very madly, and I'm sensing like madly attracted to, in love with, and they really hurt your self-esteem. They might have walked out, and I feel like, you're just not the same person as a result. And I'm feeling there was just a lot of unfinished business, and you felt like, like rationally, you knew that it wasn't good for you, but I feel like this attraction here is so strong that you always hoped it would come back, or they would come back. You always hoped to get a second chance, even though deep down, emotionally, and even like rationally, logically, it wasn't going to work, but you always wanted to have a second chance. And they're saying you're getting some closure. This is your birthday wish here. So you can move on, date other people, move on with your life, okay? So having said that, I feel almost as if, it's very work-oriented. I'm seeing some of you are looking at property so that you can move, and I feel like far away. You're tired of all of this that has been weighing you down. You're tired of putting your life on hold. And I feel for some of you 9 years, 10 years, like a whole decade. And so you're trying to, kind of like do something very covertly, where you're thinking about, okay, I'm living up here, I want to move states, I want to change location, I want to change jobs, I just want a do-over. So I feel like some of you are contemplating getting a new job here, getting a new housing situation as well. So you're trying to get into a job, or you're debating like, I've been here long enough, so I should have that, the credibility or the credit scores in order to get a new house. You might be trying to put your house up on the market, so you're trying to talk to your neighbors about what their property value is worth so that you can decide whether or not you want to sell the house. I don't feel the selling happening this month, but I feel a lot of you are going to be talking about it. You're thinking about it, but you're keeping everything very close to your chest. And then others, there's a new job in the making for you. There's a new job here. It's going to dramatically increase your income generating potential. Okay, so if the work environment has been a little bit tenuous, I feel like you're going to be switching jobs very, very soon. All right. The last thing I want to leave this with before I switch over to the love reading here is the major thing they want you to emphasize. And like they said, you can't have it all. You have a relationship here, but your professional life might be a little bit ungrounded, like topsy-turvy. And then others of you, professionally, things might be going swimmingly well. And then the relationship sector, for some reason, it's off kilter. So try to find a middle ground. Try to find, try to find people who might be in your same industry to date, not coworkers. That's not a good thing, but try to find people who are in your same professional contacts, your professional groups, so that you can start dating them, because those relationships are a lot more balanced, a lot more concrete, and a lot less topsy-turvy. All right. So I hope that is helpful, Aries, and I apologize for having to relay bad news, but I hope it's helpful, and I hope for those of you who have been dealing with, exes and things like that, you can finally get the closure you need and just move on, okay? So let me transition into your love relationship reading. Okay, what's going on for the Aries people? We have the Moon card coming out again. Okay, so I'm getting this. A lot of you might have done a lot of unconventional dating. And, unconventional is, it's all relative, right? Like it can mean many, many different things to many, many different people. But I feel like, let's just say if you have a group of friends, you were a little bit more on the unconventional side compared to all your friends. So I feel, honestly, a lot of you might have done a lot of experimental dating, like friends with benefits, open relationships, swinging even, or even like in relationships where you kept your options open until you find that perfect person that you want to, you can't live without, right? But in the process, you've gone through your series of experimentation. And I also feel like this is the month in which you're trying the conventional route, getting like set up like a match made. I'm seeing like getting set up through friends, doing the traditional blind date, or even, having a friend introduce you to somebody that they feel would be a good catch for you. Okay. So you might have done like a lot of just, having fun, doing a lot of experimental dating. But I feel like this is the month in which you want to do something that is a little bit more conventional. And keep in mind, it's good to experiment, but I just feel like the wait is worth it, okay? I feel that way, like it's worth it. So I'm going to pull out another card here, another 2 cards, and then we'll go on. Okay. So you have some good things coming through, Aries. So let me just talk about this card first. This is 3 people in a relationship, okay? A little bit too crowded and very, very topsy-turvy, very turbulent. In the foundation is something that you come into this month already with the knowledge of. And we have here the Page of Wands, shown up in the reverse, the 7 of Swords, this is a sneaky energy, and the 7 of Wands. What I'm feeling is this. I'm sensing like, the whole energy about some of you might be a third party in a relationship. And you're doing some sneaking around. This is a very small minority, okay? But the energy is coming on strongly so that you can protect yourself. So you might not be telling the truth, okay? So I feel like you might be dating somebody, or you yourself are dating multiple people. And I feel like, there might be a point where you are confronted about this, or you are confronting somebody about this, and they're still not admitting the truth. So this is something that might already happen in, the past 3 months, or it's going to come through in the picture. But usually the foundation is something that we already know to be true. We've had multiple conversations about this with another person, and they're not relenting. If you are dealing with another fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, and I'm seeing a very strong Leo energy coming through with this spread, they're telling you that there's more that meets the eye, there's more to the story, and you really need to get at it. So I do see some infighting between like fire signs, like Aries dating another fire sign, okay? In the past, what I have here is the Moon and the Page of Swords. So both of these indicates a situation where somebody is withholding the truth, possibly a previous like partner from your past, or a person that has lied to you in the past. You might have taken them back, because I feel like you guys, you do have trouble moving on to. And when a relationship is very turbulent, a lot of you might also mistake that for passion and love. Mistake, the lust for love, or the passion for the excitement. So you want to be very mindful about what you are attracting, and especially what you're settling for, because I feel like, it's not the same thing, like infatuation and love, definitely not the same thing. And I feel like on an emotional way, like you understand what I mean by that, and you understand when people say that, oh, it's just lust, it's just infatuation, it's not love. But I almost feel like in a gut instinct, like in a very visceral way, you might think that passion, chemistry, excitement, those are the things that make a relationship partner very desirable. And so you might get into turbulent relationships because you equate the excitement with love. And just be very careful about that energy, because I see like 3 people involved in a relationship here. Coming through the center of the spread, we have here the Strength card in the reverse and the Knight of Wands, okay? So if you're dealing with a fire sign, this is somebody that is coming in and out of your life perpetually on an ongoing basis, and they really did hurt your self-esteem. They're hurting your ability to really trust your instincts, to really like trust that. I'm sensing like, you might hear messages and they're like, no, you're just imagining things. No, why are you so suspicious? So I feel like somebody is running circles around you. Aries, please be very careful. If this is your energy, you're running circles around another person, and I feel like they're just going to be on their way out. So this is an X energy I feel like you guys are still involved with, and it doesn't look good. So I see an air sign and a fire sign. So Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And I feel almost as if your friends might tell you, why are you with them? And you're just like, well, A, B, C, and D, they have all these qualities, and I feel like your friends don't want to hear it. Your friends don't want you to be with this person. And so the energy with this Three of Cups here, listen to your friends. They have your best interests at heart. And I also feel as if you need to be extra, extra attentive. I have a lot of psychic energy coming through. And usually that indicates to me, you really need to trust your intuition. Somebody's running circles around you. Somebody's feeding you some lies and generally being quite deceitful. So trust your friends. They want what's best for you. Trust the information that's coming through psychically, okay? It seems like it's the same person, and it seems almost as if it's very cyclical. This has already happened before. It's not going to change, and I'm sorry to say, but you need to open your eyes up about this, and you need to learn to trust your intuition again, because I feel like they put you through the ringer, and you're still open-armed, open-hearted, and taking them back. So please be mindful about this, okay, Aries? Especially for those of you on the younger end, okay? Just be careful. Crowning this reading is something that you're thinking about. We have here the Nine of Wands as well as the Eight of Coins. The Nine of Wands indicates a person that has been through a lot of emotional turmoil in his or her past. I feel like you're making excuses for somebody, and you're just like, oh, he's like that. He or she might be emotionally stunted because they grew up in an environment that's like this. So you're rationalizing the situation. And I feel like a lot of you feel bad as well, where you're just like, oh, I understand what they're going through. I went through a similar experience, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And we have here as well the Eight of Coins. So if you're not dealing with this right now, I feel like you dealt with another person in the past that really betrayed you, that really hurt you on a very deep core level. And you're taking the wisdom with you. You're abandoning this relationship, something that you worked really hard at. You try to perfect it. And you hope that the other person would chip in and do their fair share to uphold the relationship. And you might have realized it wasn't happening. It really hurt your self-esteem. It hurt you physically and emotionally. And I feel like you physically, for some reason, Aries, you're dealing with some, I don't know if it's illness. I don't know if it's chronic. But I feel like structurally, physically, you're not at your best this month, okay? And so you might just be like, I'm done with this. I don't really want to. And I hope you do that. Just cut this person out, because this is additional stress, emotional stress, physical stress that you do not need for this month. And you know who this person is. I feel like majority of you. And then others of you trying to move on from a very strong soulmate relationship that you feel is your soulmate. But they do the disappearing act. When the relationship gets rough, they bounce. They don't want to stay and work at things. They don't really want to invest their time and their resources and, their energy to meet you halfway. And so coming through in the future position, we have here a new person. We have here the Queen of Cups. This is a water sign. So a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. That you are heavily, this could be like a new relationship partner, and it seems to me like a very, very good person. This is somebody who's caring, very loving, very nurturing, wears his or her hearts on her sleeve. They are a little bit on the naive side, but they're very trusting and very loving. And some of you might be juggling two options. You might be dealing with that ex, like a fire sign, or even juggling another fire sign, so a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. This is juggling two people. This is three people involved in a relationship. And some of you, for those of you who are, I'm seeing like this is potentially another person that is involved in that relationship. So, a water sign involved in a relationship with somebody that you're involved in. So there's going to be some information coming to light for this month regarding your overall love relationship. For those of you who are single and dating, we have very strong water sign. We have a very exciting fire sign, especially a Leo. I feel like it's not going to be, it's a very combustible energy. They're going to be in and out of your life. They're still dealing with an ex. They're not over it. So for those of you who are single and looking, you have a water sign here. That's a much better match for you. And you know, you're fire, they're water. So there's going to be opposites attract. But I feel like this is a really, this person has a very gentle energy. And I feel that it can work, okay? The fire sign seems a little bit flaky and seems as if they're still dealing with an ex, and it doesn't look good. So I feel like for the other narrative that I see coming through is you guys are single and you're trying to date. You still have people wanting to, you still have exes in this cluster wanting to communicate with you. You're trying to move on with a new person. Once you make up your mind to move on, and my advice in general is, honestly, if somebody wants to walk away for whatever reason, they should not be allowed to come back in on their own time. When you're dating new people and an ex comes back in, give that new relationship a chance. And then if, for whatever reason, that new relationship doesn't pan out, you can then revisit the ex situation. But the ex does not get to come back in on his or her time, because that's very inconsiderate and it's interfering with your energy with the other person's energy. So just something on an energetic level you want to be very mindful about, okay? Once you sever ties, make sure it is final and make sure it is resolute, Aries. There's a lot of gray areas here, and I don't enjoy reading when the energy is very gray. It basically means that you have the potential to do the right thing, but you're erring on the side of temptation. So be very careful, okay? Just be careful for this month. I do wish you all the best. I'll be back for the reading this month as well. Take care of yourself. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, I believe I'm booked right now only 4 or 5 days out. The information is in the description box below, and if you'd like to donate to the channel as well, I would greatly appreciate it. The information as well is on my website, or it's in the description box with the donation link, okay? Take care of yourself, Aries. Please do. There's a lot of volatile, gray energies coming in, okay? So I hope you do the right thing, and I hope you take care of yourself emotionally, physically, all right? I'll talk to you in the mid-month reading. Bye-bye.